Never had a lot, this is all I need.
Welcome, guys, to Scott Talks, episode 3, The Price of Support. Before we get into today's episode, I just want to say thank you guys again for tuning back in. Episodes 1 and 2 are out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So again, thank you guys for the continued support. It means the world. Sorry for missing the episode Monday. I was in New Orleans for, I had to come move my stuff back out for school because I'm staying home this semester, which we'll talk about in a later episode. I just want to make sure you guys are doing good. Again, if you're listening to this, that means the inaugurations happen. We might talk about that a little bit towards the end. But the focus of today's episode, the price of support. What does that mean? What am I talking about? And where are we going with this? So let's take a pop culture icon, Beyonce Knowles. I think everyone who's alive and breathing knows who she is. Whether you're old, young, everyone knows who Beyonce is, right? Cool. So a thing that I saw was when it was Beyonce's birthday, everyone, happy birthday, Beyonce, da-da-da. And again, I have no problem with that, It's a celebrity's birthday. I think, there's nothing wrong with you as a fan or you as someone wishing happy birthday. Like, that's dope. I believe birthdays are super special days. But what I had an issue with is some people were so quick to say happy birthday to Beyonce, but when it's their friend's birthday, won't even send them a text, nothing. Like, again, I'm not saying you got to post your friend. I'm not saying you got to do all that. But it was just funny how quick people are to acknowledge celebrities' birthdays who probably won't respond to them and not sometimes, the people that they consider close to them in their life. I just found that astonishing. Like, that was weird to me. Like, how are you saying happy birthday to someone who's not going to say something back, but, not wish your real friends. That's weird. Like, for instance, why do we treat celebs like they're our close friends? Like, I get, celebrities are in the public eye a lot, and they do share a lot of their life, because of the marketability, different things like that. So it makes it feel like, we do know them in a sense, or like they really are our friend or our figure. But it's like, girls will call Beyonce, that's my mom, that's my sis. Yes, Beyonce, get it. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, wait a second, like, the same support that you show Beyonce, show your friends. And I'm not saying that your friends are Beyonce or that, they've achieved what she's achieved yet by any means. I'm not saying that Beyonce doesn't rightfully, deserve all the praise that she gets and all the flowers that she gets while she's here. But what I am saying is the same support that you can show someone you don't even know, you need to show people who you do know. And I don't want to just feel like I'm coming for the ladies. So let's talk about Lil Baby, for instance. Lil Baby, 4PF, everyone be under his comments every time. Yeah, we 4PF, yeah, yes sir, baby, yeah, baby, drop this, bop this, like, da-da-da, like, always on his post, reposting his stuff. And again, that's fine. Again, I'm a huge Lil Baby fan. Shout out Lil Baby. Shout out my label, that's me. I'm in this with TP. Anyways, huge Lil Baby fan. But again, it just goes to show, like, we're so quick to show people who don't even know us support that we often don't reciprocate that same energy when it comes to people who are actually in our life. For instance, I'm a huge Drake fan. Before Drake turned his comments off, you could find me in every live, every comment. I was, yes, Drizzy, I see you, big bro. Yeah, like, like I knew him, but I also showed that same energy to my friends. One thing my friends will tell you, I'm real supportive. I'll repost your picture, I'll comment. For instance, something that might be not that big. If it's big to you, it's huge to me. Like, for instance, you just got an A on this test. I'm going to treat it like you just, graduated from Yale. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just did something huge. Because, again, if it's something that's big to you or important to you, something that you put emphasis on, I'm going to make sure that that energy is reciprocated. And that's something that I feel like is a big issue with our generation, our peers. And I can't speak about everywhere, but especially in the DMV, something that I've noticed, and something that relates to this quote by one of my favorite NBA players, John Wall. He said, I'm not too worried about when I'm in other cities and places like that. It's always love. But I'm always the most cautious and most careful and have extra security when I'm in my own city. And at first I was like, why would you need extra security and stuff in your own city? But I'm like, wait, it's not people from outside of where you're from are going to support you way quicker than people where you're from, which to me is totally backwards. But it's like, a lot of people are either envious, they don't think that everyone can win, whatever, which is a weird thing to me. And for instance, the DMV is just oozing with talent, creativity, business. Like, there are so many talented people in the arts, people who have brilliant ideas, super intelligent people, creators. I think we have some of the best athletes, but in the DMV, we're so accustomed and we have this ingrained in our heads that it's a competition. We can't all make it. And I think that's crazy to me because it's just kind of like, you know, there's enough wealth for all of us. Some of it do, though. I also think it's, we're all targeting the same customer base, but that still shouldn't stop us from being able to support one each other. So that brings me into what today's topic is about. What it means, the cost of support. When I say that, I mean treat your friend's brand like designer. For instance, people will buy a Gucci belt that costs $200+ and support, that big name brand, but then they also won't spare $20 to buy their friend's t-shirt. I'm not saying your friend's Gucci yet, and I'm also not agreeing with some people how they already price their items super high, but I am saying if that's your friend or that's a local person, you don't even have to pay for the item, right? But a simple repost, a retweet, a share, you know what I mean, or telling someone else about this brand, even if you can't afford it right now, or you personally don't want, you know what I mean, just spreading the love. Because again, just because you don't buy it, you spreading it, that's showing support. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that that I think we can do a better job of. Same thing with art. People are artists, even if you can't buy the art or you can't listen to their music or you can't buy like go to their concert, repost their music, stream it. Like, it's just that stuff is free. That stuff is all free. Reposting is free, commenting is free, encouraging them is free. Like stuff like that is free. And I'm just saying people always think support is you have to buy everything from that person. But no, support can be something as simple as, reposting something. Like for instance, one of my friends, he has a brand called Cashflow, right? Cool, it's a DMV brand. And I didn't always, and at the time in high school, I didn't have a job when it first came out. So I didn't have the money to buy a shirt, but I made sure whenever he posted the stuff, I'm reposting because just because I can't buy it right now, whatchamacallit, once he he dropped it. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank for words. Once he dropped, I made sure to always repost, always show support, always show love, tell people about it, whatever. And then when I finally did, have the balance or the funds to get it, I made sure to cop a shirt, made sure to post pictures, and what I mean. Again, shout out the brand because again, it's showing love. And I didn't do this because I wanted something in return. But for instance, that's someone I call my friend. That's someone who's from my area. I want to see everyone make it. I don't care if you sell shirts, you sell soap, you sell skincare, hair care, you do stocks, you are an investor, like you have a food business. I don't care what you do. If you're from the DMV, I want to see you make it. That's just how I am. That's just how I was brought up. Because my mom never told me, oh, only one of you can make it. Like I don't believe in everyone's your competition. No, if we all doing the same thing, I promise you we're gonna get to where we're going faster if we work together, we help each other out. And I'm not saying you guys gotta share, but like for instance, let's bounce ideas off each other. Let's, critique each other. Like, you know what I mean? Let's positively impact each other. Cause iron sharpens iron. I don't think people get that. So again, treat your friend's brand just like a designer because people are quick to tag the brands when they're wearing designer, if it's Dior, Gucci, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you're into that type of stuff, that's fine. But the same way when you wear your friend's brand, take pictures in your friend's brand, post it because I promise you more people are gonna buy it. If they see their peers wearing it, they're gonna be like, oh snap, that's a cool shirt, it looks good. Especially if you style it the right way, they're gonna be like, oh snap, that's trendy. You know what I mean? Wear it because if you treat that like designer, and you have that mindset like this is has a value. Other people are gonna want it. Other people are gonna buy it if you advertise it. And the best advertisement just by wearing it. And again, that's the other thing too. If that's your friend, don't ask for discounts. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't ask Nike for a discount. You wouldn't ask Gucci for a discount. You wouldn't ask Telford for a discount. No, like you know what I mean. Pay full price, and that's showing support. You know what I mean? Because if you're my dog, I want money in your pockets. I want to see you eat. If I want to see you eat, I'm not gonna try to take food off your table by asking for a discount or asking something for free. If you have the kindness of your heart, want to give me something for free, okay, cool, that's great. But I'm not gonna come off the bat asking because I want you to know what you're worth. Because again, if you know what you're worth, then you can be able to tax for it later. Because again, I'm not saying come out the gate with $60 shirts and you've never sold anything, you just put a logo on it. But it's your first drop, shirts are 20, I'm gonna pay 20. I might even tip you a little extra because again, I want to see you booming, I want to see you business, I want to repost. And even if your business doesn't end up getting where it is, at least you tried and whatever. That's the other thing too, finding a business that works for you. I think that's also a big issue too with support. Realistically, not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Not everyone can be a multimillionaire tycoon, but we all can find a niche in something. So, not everyone can do clothes, but there's not just clothes. There's hair. There's such as women who do hair, guys who are barbers. There's food like snack plugs. There's people who paint, redesign shoes, artsy stuff. There's people with personal trainers. There's so many things. There are so many things. So, for instance, I'm gonna tell a story about a girl on my campus. So I go to Xavier University of Louisiana, which is in New Orleans. The thing about my school is the cafe closes at 7. And then Chick-fil-A and Starbucks are the only other two options on campus, and they close at 10, right? So between 10 and 2, most people are in the library, granted it's COVID right now, but before they were, it's COVID. Before it was COVID, everyone studying during that time. So when you're studying, you're naturally going to get hungry because you're using your brain. And so this girl, she's like, what is a way that I can solve a problem and still profit? Well, I see everyone's hungry between this time frame. I see those places are closed. I see our schools next to Costco. So let me go to Costco. Let me buy some snacks and drinks and stuff in bulk. And I'm going to sell it during those time periods for a reasonable price. And she only really charged like 50 cents more, but she was still profiting and it filled the need. So people were more likely to come back to her because, again, nothing's open during this time. You don't want to pay for Uber Eats. You don't want to pay for this. You just want a little snack. You don't want to break the bank doing it. This girl's on campus. She'll come to you or you can come to her because, again, it's a smaller campus. So, again, she found something that was a problem. She found a way that she could profit off of it. And she felt, she filled a niche. And, again, she was able to launch successful business. And I think that's what I want to talk about, too. Find your niche. Find something that, one, you're good at or something that you can, profit off of that fills a need. Because, again, everyone can make clothing. Everyone can do hair and stuff. But, you got to find out what your niche is. For instance, if you do hair, maybe you don't have to do everything, every type of hairstyle, but find one hairstyle you're really good at. So if you're really good at braiding and twist is your thing. Like, so everyone knows to come to you. But maybe you're not the best at, let's say, weaves and wigs. So, someone else, that's their niche. Let's say you're a sneaker painter. Maybe you're really good at painting custom shoes with certain designs, and then other people have other designs. Or you're an artist. Like, again, there's so much, you got to find your niche. Same thing with musical artists. You have a specific sound that you're good at. Fill that sound and become great at it instead of trying to, dibble and dabble in every sound. So I go back to all this to say is it's free to support. And that's the part that I just want everyone to realize, that the same way you support celebrities, treat your friends just like you treat them celebrities. That means, support them, show them off, show love, encourage them. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that it's just so ridiculous how you have to make it somewhere else in order to be, accepted back in your city. For instance, I always think of Rico Nasty for this thing. Rico, she'd been rapping for a while. She was rapping when I was in high school. She was getting a decent buzz around here, but it really wasn't until she came back after kind of getting that, more mainstream clout that people really started, rocking her. I was like, wait, when she was here this whole time rapping her tail off, and you guys weren't showing the same love, and now that the rest of the world, now everyone wants to claim her. I just find that real interesting. And one thing I love about Rico, just while we're on the topic, is she shouts out PG, which is it's huge. There's a lot of artists, when they kind of are getting bigger, they might say, oh, they're from DC, they're from, they're just from Maryland, whatever. But no, Rico makes sure to know that she's from Prince George's County, Maryland. So huge shout out to Rico. Rico, if you ever listen to this, huge fan of your music. I saw you at our homecoming concert my freshman year at Zula. Killed it. Huge salute to you. But yeah, as we go on this final 2 minutes, when we talked about supporting your local people, supporting your friends, I also want to say, too, be real with your friends, too. I'm not saying, crush their dreams, but also tell them, hey, maybe this isn't the best route for you, but here's how you can improve it. You know what I mean? Like, don't just say, oh, you suck, or oh, this. No. Figure out a way to constructively criticize in a way to help improve them. Because, again, iron sharpens iron. And now, with the last 2 minutes, I think we're just going to quickly talk about inauguration and stuff like that. It's cool that we got Trump out. I'm not really trying to make this podcast too political, because that's just not something I dabble in or like to talk about. It's cool that we have a woman vice president who's also black. Like, I think that's huge. She's also HBCU grad. That's huge. But now, though, the trivial stuff is out, I want her and Joe to do the work. Personally, I don't have much faith in them. I don't think they're going to be any different than anyone else. But, I want them to prove me wrong. And I say that to say, we got to be in control of our own destiny. Don't let politicians fool you by, because once they get your vote, they don't really care anymore, because now they have the power that they wanted, and, we're obsolete. But tell this to say, choose your own destiny. Make sure, you are the change that you want to see. And I know that's a lot easier said than done, but truly be the change that you want to see and, impact others in a positive way. And again, I'm wrapping this up now, getting close to 15-minute mark. Again, sorry for missing Monday. Thank you guys again for showing support, showing love. It just goes without saying, man, y'all are what keeps this podcast going. So episode 3, episode 4 and 5 coming out next week. Again, I'm gonna skedaddle. Ka-chow.